Hey everyone, it's your girl T here. Welcome to Northwest Intuition. I'm back with another lesson. Today's topic is letting go. As promised from my weekly spirit forecast video that I just uploaded, I was going to touch on a way to let go and a way to move through this week's energy. So for those of you who haven't seen that yet, go ahead, stop the video, check out the weekly forecast. If you want to zoom towards the end of the week, this was the last card that was pulled. So I believe that's about maybe at the 13-minute mark around there. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, which you should because it's freaking awesome and I did it, duh. Anyways, so getting back to the point, we're talking about letting go today, which is something that is so necessary in the human process, because what happens is we learn our lessons, but we don't let go of the anxiety and the anger and all the negative emotions that they bring with them and they build up. So I'm sort of going to give you a scientific reason why, and I'm going to give you a spiritual out, because I believe that science and spirit are one and the same. They connect the earth and the stars. They connect human nature and human abilities with spiritual possibilities. And I hope that I can create that dialogue for people. So with that being said, I'm going to elaborate on what part of the brain is in control of harboring these feelings. And that's the amygdala. And that is a portion of your brain, it's in the shape of an almond, that controls your fight or flight. It's the portion of your brain that is in the scientific field developing, like they're starting to see that there's layers to it, that it has more jobs than they originally anticipated or discovered. So they often thought it would hold on to our fears and would allow us to make our decisions based off of our experiences. For example, if you touch a hot stove, that memory is going to be placed into this part of your brain. It's going to tell you next time that, oh, that stove is hot and you shouldn't touch it. Now, that's a good part of it. But what happens is all of that gets built up. So not only is it that portion of yourself saying, hey, you shouldn't touch that, but that happens for everything. For example, you might see someone has a bad experience at a restaurant. Well, that's their experience. That's not necessarily going to be your experience. So you should test it out. But because you have a fear of someone else's experience, you don't. You know, that's it. Your anxiety builds up off of the fear that you really didn't experience yourself. Those thoughts build up there as well. So it's taking the good portion, but also taking the bad portion of your anxiety and creating, like Dr. Phil said, a sort of racetrack in your mind. Just imagine all of those thoughts that go in your head, all of your anxieties, like I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not smart enough. Those are all in shadow form going around on this circle track. And the older you get, the more thoughts get put in there, the more anxieties get put in there, the more triggers, the more things that stop you from experiencing life, the reason we're here, experiencing our lessons. Those things are building up. And what needs to happen is we need to let go, because what letting go does is it breaks the cycle. It sort of frees up the track a little bit. It takes all of our old habits and lets them know that we are changing and evolving as a person and growing, and we're not going to be doing the same things that we normally would have done. For example, the reading I did this morning was based off of the relationship, because we're in a certain retrograde right now, the Venus retrograde, and the last several weeks we've been noticing that the weekly forecasts are directed towards that. So with that being said, I'm helping those people in their love life change the cycles. They're creating new boundaries. They're letting their partners know new new things that they like, new situations that they don't necessarily agree with. It's all about communication, letting go of old habits. You know, you guys are having the same arguments over and over again. You think things are going to be cool for a week, you know, habits are changed, and then you're back in that same pattern. Well, what's happening is we're not releasing that. We're not letting those habits go. How can you do this? Well, I asked myself this, and I came up with a way that I think will be effective. I tried it myself this morning, and I instantly felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. And how I did this was by meditating and calling down my higher self, and just sort of asking, if I need to get rid of energy, how would I get rid of energy, and where would it go? Well, in the spiritual world, we have what's called portals, and these are ways for energy to transfer. Now, I believe that we do not necessarily die. Yes, we die here on this earth, but our energy moves forward. You can't kill the energy. It just transfers. Now, what we're going to do here is transfer that negative energy within that amygdala, and we're going to transfer it into another place. And we're going to call this place the mess, you know, because it's a hot mess express of energy. We're just creating this bubble, you know, a place for it to go, okay? Now, how we're going to do this involves a little bit of self-discipline and a little bit of meditation. Now, you don't have to be an expert on meditation. Hell, you really don't even need to know what meditation is. All you have to do are follow these steps I'm about to give you, and it should be all right. You should be able to move through this, even if you're novice. So let's start off. So what you're going to do is you're going to close your eyes, like so. And then you're going to visualize a circle track within your mind. We've all seen a racetrack. Go ahead and envision it. Now you're going to take that racetrack and give it a location. Now, your amygdala is located in sort of the center of your brain. Like, here's your third eye. It's going to be towards the front there, like in front of that, up a little higher. So just give that location, that track. Just put that track there in your mind, okay? Now, on this track, you're going to notice that there's shadows just racing by. They're just going in a circle. And you're going to feel that weight. You're going to feel that anxiety passing you by, that sadness passing you by, those bad memories, those habits that don't benefit you. You're going to see all of that going by. You might, if you're good enough, be able to grab at one of them and see which memory is there. See which situation is there. For example, if I were to envision my track and envision the shadows and envision all of the negative going around, you know, and if I were to grab one, I would pull forward a situation where, okay, like self-doubt. That's something that's heavy on my track. Is what I'm saying to you guys going to benefit you? Am I just piping sunshine up your asses? Like, what's going on? This is self-doubt. This is my reality, something that would keep me back from giving you guys a message, from helping you guys further yourselves. So I'm going to take that and realize that it's there, and I'm going to put it back on the track, okay? What we're doing is we're seeing that there's very real things about our personalities on this track, habits that we've done for years. Now, once you've picked out a few of those habits of yours or personality traits of yours, I want you to be the calm in the center of that mess, okay? I want you to envision yourself in a hue, almost a fog of clear smooth white light. You can see through it, you can move through it, but you know it's there, it's present. That's going to surround your whole entire body. It's going to protect your mind, your heart, your being. You're going to sit with that feeling of protection, of safety, of love. For those of you who are further along on the spiritual journey, this is a good time for you to call in your guides, to bring in any higher beings. When I did this, I brought in my higher self because my higher self has already gone through this process, so I just brought in the higher self. You're going to build your team around you, whether you want to hold hands with them, whether you want them to place a hand on your shoulder. This is you building up your protection. Once that is done, you and your team will take your right hand in your mind's eye. And this is very important. Your right hand, I want to make sure I get this right, I wrote it down, is going to open the portal to the mess, the hot mess express. With this hand, you're going to move from left to right, clockwise, opening this portal. For those of you who know the energy centers in the center of your hand, you're going to feel this heat opening up this portal. You're going to notice what it's doing to your heart because it's going to be bringing up a lot of memories. It's going to be bringing up a lot of hurt. You're going to notice that your brain's going to start thinking wild. You're going to notice that track of shadows is going to start speeding up because they're ready to go. It's ready to release. On the other side of this portal is where your energy is going to go. That energy that's not benefiting you, the energy that no longer needs to sit within you, that's going to be releasing. Once you're comfortable enough with the size of your portal, you're going to take that portal and move it over to the track. Here, you are going to see every shadow that doesn't benefit you shoot through this track. Now that's important. The shadows that don't benefit you. We're not getting rid of all of them because we do need those shadows, those lessons, those warnings, that fight or flight mode. As human beings, we need to know not to touch that hot stove, okay? So you will see some shadows continuing, and that's okay. What we're doing is releasing the ones that don't benefit us. The lessons that we've learned and moved forward from, but have kept a sting in our hearts, okay? That's what's going to go through this portal. You're going to sit with your team and you're going to envision it. You're going to envision every memory that doesn't benefit you, every fight on the playground, every time someone scolded you or made you feel less than, every time you made yourself feel less than. Those thoughts, those feelings, those habits, you're going to watch them go through. You can say goodbye if you wish, farewell, but you're still going to watch them go through. And as they're going through, and as that track shadows, that track of shadows is getting thinner, feel that weight getting lifted off of your chest. Feel those old ways leaving your body and your soul. Give yourself the encouragement and the willpower to change who you are. Give yourself the control and discipline over yourself, your mind, and your thoughts to change the narrative. If you just watched a smoking habit leave your portal Bring in the thought that you will never smoke again. You will help other people quit smoking, and you will live a smokeless life. Bring those thoughts in to replace those energies that are leaving, okay? This is how you're changing the scene. Once you feel that release, once you feel that calmness, once you feel that, you and your team will then take your right hand and direct it at that portal, and you will close that portal by going counterclockwise. You will thank that portal and the ability to even be doing this. You will thank your team for being there and protecting you. You will then thank yourself for having the courage to do this. You will thank yourself for creating a safe space within your mind so that you can further up-level your energy, so that you can better the world, so that you can better your life and your outcome. That you can change what you once felt was a negative cycle that is repeating itself over and over again. You can change that into a positive, a way of noticing your habits and stopping yourself from reacting how you normally would react. You have that split second of thought process right before you go to repeat the same actions. You stop yourself. You think, what could I do different? If you're going back to a toxic relationship, what's the opposite of going back? Leaving. Find the exact opposite of what you've been doing and do it. Execute it. Be within it. If you are into stones, I would call upon the citrine stone here to help you be within your solar plexus and to really get that confidence and that ability to execute whatever is put to your mind. This helps you create the I do, the I can, the I've done. Okay? So if you're looking for a stone to help you with that, I'd be carrying the citrine around with you. This process can be done as many times as you need. But it's very important that you protect yourself because you're opening a portal. It goes both ways, okay? This is not to scare you, but we're not doing this stuff just for shits and gigs. This is a real deal. We can preach love and light all we like, but it would be ignorant to not address the negative. And the negative is just our emotions, our experiences and habits we're repeating over and over again. It's not evil, it's just the negative. And that negative builds up and that creates bad energy. And that's what we're doing. We're addressing that. We're letting it go. We're changing our habits. We're getting that courage to flip the script, to not be the person we were yesterday or even 5 minutes ago. We are constantly evolving. All of this energy entering our planet is changing every one of us. Whether you're spiritual or not, you are seeing people either change for the better or for the worse. And the people that are changing for the worse, they have to go through that. They have to go through that experience. They have to hurt themselves and others around them for them to wake up. That's their experience. That's their lesson. Aren't you fortunate enough to not feel that way? Aren't you happy that your lessons aren't like that? You don't have to hurt anybody else, that you are a strong enough person to take control of your emotions and the energy that you put out and take responsibility for yourself and what you put into this planet. You should give yourself kudos for that, because that right there is courageous. That right there shows that you have true grit and character. And it shows that you really want to progress the rest of the world for the better, not for the worse. And that is a selfless act. That is an act that is commended. And that is an act that I personally believe should be cherished and rewarded. And your reward is the good karma that you receive back. Okay? With that being said, I hope this lesson of letting go helped you. I hope the method helps you. Even if you're not in the spiritual world, like, just know that that part of your brain it needs some sort of release. And if my release wasn't the right one for you, you need to find one that fits you. Okay? So for example, say you're a runner, but you're not spiritual, but you're a runner. Say you're on your jog and you want to release all those bad memories, all that stuff. Bring it up and then just throw it out on your jog. Mentally throw it out, okay? This is all up to you. This is you taking control of your thoughts. Don't allow them to hurt any future opportunities you have, okay? That's the whole point. We don't want to hurt your opportunities. We want to help you get through them and change your lives. Just like myself. I want to change my life too. And this is how I'm going to do it. With that being said, if you like my content, please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. You can find me on Facebook at Northwest Intuition or on my Instagram, Northwest Intuition. If you would like to message me in an email, you can also look at northwestintuition@gmail.com. With that being said, I am out. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Mwah. Bye-bye.